Thank you for tuning in. I'm your reader for today, Quintari Shakir, and you're watching the Secret Service's Celebrity Psychic Readings. I'm going to be doing a reading on Andrew McCabe, but I'm going to take a creative approach to it by reading about Jess Sessions because he's in the middle of it. So by reading about Jess Sessions, I'll be able to probably get a more objective standpoint on what's going on. And I think it might be a little bit juicier for all of us that are wondering what's been going on in the White House. So with all of that being said, please like this video. Please like this video. Please subscribe to my channel. And whether you like this video or not, please leave a comment. I would like to hear from you all. In addition to that, if you are interested in a private reading, you can go to www.blackspectrumnetwork.com. Again, that's www.blackspectrumnetwork.com. Okay, so I'm going to use this oracle deck that I created last summer. It's not fully completed. I say it's supposed to have around 80 cards, and I think maybe I have about 40 or 50 here. So I'm going to be using this to read about Andrew McCabe, not Andrew McCabe, but Jess Sessions. So, oracle reading on Jess Sessions. See what can we find about Jess Sessions. Okay. All right, so Jess Sessions. So what I can tell from what the spirits are telling me, these first two cards are telling me is that Jess Sessions is still collecting more information about Andrew McCabe. He is having a legal team, not so much doctor up evidence, but he's trying to enhance the legal arguments they made about why Andrew McCabe got fired. And I'm also seeing him in very, very deep contemplation about how to protect his reputation, because he's very, very resentful of the position that Donald Trump put him in. He feels as though there's a ball and chain attached to his soul now. And in addition to that, he's feeling quite bitter towards Donald Trump. As far as how he feels towards Andrew McCabe, he feels as though he feels as though his department needed more time to build a case against Andrew McCabe, and he also feels that the Justice Department may be in a little bit of trouble. They may get reprimanded in some way. Because people will say that they're a little bit suspicious about why this particular person got fired. But either way, it's not something that's going to be heavy. It's going to be like a warning, kind of like a warning to the Justice Department. Oh, here's something that you shouldn't have done, or here's an oversight. But you know, the decision is the decision. For Jess Sessions, his challenge and obstacle right now is that he's feeling incredibly overwhelmed through work. He needs to see a therapist, actually, because with all he is trying. His department is actually pretty professional for the most part. It runs like a very traditional department. They're all quite cordial with each other. There's a small air of friendliness, but he is overwhelmed trying to protect his department from the chaos of the executive branch. So with all of that said, he's going to need to go see a therapist, or he needs to see a spiritualist. He needs to see a spiritual worker. Jess Sessions, take a cleansing bath. See Salt and Lemon. Outcome of his reading is speaking about prejudice, attitudes, and opinions. So I see him coming out of this. Feeling incredibly negative towards Donald Trump, feeling betrayed, feeling set up, feeling as though he's been used as a scapegoat, and knowing that all of the attention is going to fall back on him because he made the final decision. At the same time, I'm seeing that his ancestors are incredibly upset. His ancestors are pissed with him for allowing this to happen, because they're saying that that this was ethically incorrect, and we're going to protect you from it, but your legal reputation is forever going to be tarnished, because they're going to, when Andrew McCabe has to talk about why he's gotten fired, a lot of the attention is going to fall back on Jess Sessions. Donald Trump is going to deflect the attention back on him as well, and the ancestors warned him of that. But what they're saying, what his ancestors are saying, is that you knew that this guy was a snake, and you knew that he was a snake, and you knew that he was going to bite you. You knew that his bite would be venomous. We told you that his bites were going to be venomous, and you thought that you could handle it. And here it is. We told you to give it a little bit more time, fire him after his retirement, and then you won't be the culprit. More of the attention will be on Trump, but because he fired him prior to the retirement, because he fired him prior to the retirement, all the attention is on Jess Sessions, and he needs to be in therapy. Guess what? He's got and I'm hearing there are going to be about 2 or 3 more incidents that are there are going to be 2 or 3 more incidents where Jess Sessions is going to have to accept responsibility. In the court of public opinion, he's going to have to accept responsibility for carrying out Trump's orders. So, with all that being said, why did Jess Sessions fire Andrew McCabe? I mean, we know why the media is reporting it. So, let's see if we can verify that. Okay, so Jess Sessions had been planning to fire Andrew McCabe for some time. Jess Sessions, he intellectually feels that Andrew McCabe committed an incredibly terrible legal crime, and he's just like, even though this was a mistake, it was a very crucial mistake that this man made, and he's not talking. And if he didn't make this mistake, none of this would have happened. And perhaps, I could be able to. Perhaps I could have done my job. And Jess Sessions is taking this sort of position because he doesn't want to be bitter towards Donald Trump. So he's forcing himself to blame Andrew McCabe as the main culprit. If Andrew McCabe had vetted the information that he presented to that judge to get that, to allow for the wiretapping or whatever it was. This is what Jess Sessions is saying. He's saying that if he had vetted this information correctly, none of this would have started, and maybe we would have never been in this Russia investigation situation. And in addition to that, I could do my job and continue protecting this country. So I see him charging forward on this out of anger, out of misplaced anger. He should be angry at Donald Trump, but he is angry at Andrew McCabe to stay on Donald Trump's good side. And so, the end. So, Jess Sessions tried to shut this down by appeasing Donald Trump, saying, hey, I don't think we should do this. There are other alternatives. There are other alternative means that we can take. There are other people that we can perhaps target. But because Donald Trump was emotional. Donald Trump's not thinking in terms of playing chess. He's just like, hey, this is, this to me is he's Donald Trump is thinking about playing chess as an entrepreneur, and he's never been in law or politics. So Jeff Sessions had to acquiesce to Donald Trump's demands, and it was the end. It was the end of that conversation. Jeff Sessions tried to end Donald Trump thinking that they should fire Andrew McCabe, and Donald Trump said, fuck that. This is the end of the conversation. Either you're going to do it or you're not, or you're getting off my ship. You're getting off the boat, and it's going to be you. And I can have you replaced. Please believe me that I can. And so Jeff Sessions goes against his own intuition, and he had plans to fire Andrew McCabe maybe next week, if only because he's saying to himself, Andrew McCabe is going to be mad regardless, but he's going to be much less upset if he gets fired and he gets his retirement. And Jeff Sessions is like, we don't need to fuck with this man's money right now. And Donald Trump is like, no, bitch, no. We're going to fuck with his money. I don't care about him getting a paycheck. I've worked in business for a long time. I fired people before, a couple of hours before that, they were supposed to get settled. They were supposed to receive retirement benefits from my corporations. And yeah, Donald Trump had to repeat the order to him multiple times. He was supposed to do that earlier this week. Perhaps when the tweet dropped, he was already ordering for Jeff Sessions to do it, and Jeff Sessions had to come. He and his team worked overtime to get a solid legal argument going about this, and they know in their heart of hearts that Andrew McCabe, for the most part, was a little bit ignorant towards the dossier and its credibility. But hey, Jeff Sessions wants to make sure that he keeps his job. He also cares about his public reputation. He cares a lot about his image, and he wants to make sure that if I go down in history, people will at least know that I did some good things in the Justice Department and I followed through on my promises. And if Donald Trump is making demands that stand in the way of me following through on my promises, then I just have to suck it up, meet his demands, and remember that my long range goal is to implement this policy and make this large change in society, dealing with criminality, drugs, violence, the deterioration of the nuclear family. This is how I'm hearing him say it. Oops. How does Jeff Sessions, the reading said that he was a bit depressed, but how does he feel right now? Jeff Sessions feels as though he was manipulated. He knows that he was manipulated. He feels as though he was stuck between a rock and a hard spot. It was either being persuaded by Donald Trump or being intimidated by Donald Trump. It was either or. Donald Trump was being sweet one day and then persuasively sweet. And it's kind of like you know what you need to do, and you know that this needs to happen, and you know that we have bad players on our team. And if one bad apple is in the basket, guess what? It's going to spoil the bunch. We're all going to be riding. Get it out. And Jeff Sessions is overwhelmed. Jeff Sessions is stressing right now, y'all. And if anything, he's trying to figure out how can he drive a wedge between him and the president after this in terms of following the president's orders. And he wants to figure out, and this is what he's going to do. He's going to study even more law to figure out how he can deny some of the president's orders, either through protocol or through some sort of legal implications. He's going to pull up like old cases, like, you know, this and this happened. And this attorney general had this relationship with the president, and they decided XYZ. So I think that you should probably get, you know, this person in this department to do it instead. You know, Mr. President, I think that this person might be more effective and is in getting this particular thing done. It would look a lot less suspicious. You know, people would actually praise you more if you work with, you know, them to do it, because, you know, my image is tarnished. I'm working on this Andrew McCabe thing to make sure you're good. Jeff Sessions is not a yes man, but he's been made into Donald Trump's bitch. I mean, that's the best way that I can put it for you. He's been made into Donald Trump's bitch, and Andrew McCabe not Andrew McCabe. Actually, the spirits want me to talk about Andrew McCabe. So Andrew McCabe, how's he going to move forward? Andrew McCabe is going to move forward. The ancestors are behind him. They provided him with wisdom and intelligence. They're giving him, they're allowing him to remember. He's remembering even the smallest details of these meetings with Donald Trump. And they're giving him, they're blessing him with a lot of clairvoyance. All of his senses are activated. He's going to tell everything. He's going to say everything, down to Trump's cologne. He's ready to talk, and the ancestors around him are pissed. They feel as though the work that they've done almost was for naught. It was like, we worked to set this man up to go into a retirement that was a smaller part of this larger plan. You know, he's got another 20 years of very, very powerful service that we want him to have. But yeah, they're going to give him the opportunity to air out his grievances. In addition to that, Andrew McCabe is actually going to implicate one or two other people into this, but it's not going to be nationally covered. So if these people are going to be charged or investigated, it's going to be a smaller news topic. It won't be big. But I see him holding very closely to some secrets, and they're not really. These things that he knows aren't exactly. They're not threatening for Donald Trump, but it's just added information, just more context. He's going to bring a lot more context to what Mueller has been investigating, and for the general public, his retelling of his experiences is going to embolden the public to believe that there's something there with this Russia collusion. And the spirits are giving him this, and coming for him. Yeah, they're going to give him that opportunity, but the White House is going to hit him from different angles. They're going to hold up to the general public a lot of things about Andrew McCabe. They're going to start digging up smaller things that he's done and try to say, okay, in 2004 he did this, in 2008 he did this, and then he did this. He failed to do XYZ, and they're going to continue pushing that narrative against him. It won't work because he won't be silenced. And if he is silenced, he's only going to be silenced. It's going to be a colorful majority. People with colorful personalities and people that are incredibly mesmerized by Donald Trump. So his fan base won't listen about the to Andrew McCabe, but that's obvious. That's obvious though. But he wants to get everything out, and he wants to show that there's a lot of deception going on. That's largely going to be his narrative. You know, there's something deceptive going on about my firing, and they're trying to end something, and there's some collusion there between Donald Trump and there's some collusion there between Donald Trump and not Donald. It's Junior. Is it Junior? There's some there. He's going to spill some tea about Donald Trump Jr. There's something about Donald Trump Jr. and a woman that he knows. But he and this woman aren't intimately involved. They're not romantically or sexually involved, but he knows a little bit of tea about this. It's petty tea. It's something. It's something petty. It's like Andrew McCabe isn't wielding any heavy gossip. It's not going to be anything that's going to make headlines for weeks at a time. It's not going to be as big as Stormy Daniels. If anything, it will trend for maybe a couple of hours, and then that's it. It's going to be small. But the ancestors are giving him the opportunity to speak. Now, will his words cut? Not so much. His words are going to be blunt. It's going to be more of, we already knew this. This is just more of what we already knew. It adds another layer to this cake. And for the people that were already very skeptical of Andrew McCabe's role in this entire Russia investigation and how the dossier was handled, they're already like, well, we knew this as well. We knew that there was no there. That's what they're saying. I mean, all right. So we know how he's going to move forward. I guess we need to know. What's his next move going to be, and what's Andrew McCabe's next move going to be? What does Donald Trump think of Jeff Sessions right now, and what does Jeff Sessions think of Donald Trump? Okay, he's going to charge forward. He's going to charge forward. Okay, so Andrew McCabe is going to let the chopper fly with all his tea. He's going to tell everything that he knows that he can. He's going to tell everything that he knows that he is legally allowed to. In interviews, and he's going to be messy about it. He's going to tell small facts and then emphasize that these small facts are linked to him being intimidated, him being pushed out, him being mischaracterized, and him being restricted. He's going to all four of those things. And after that's done, he's going to be looking for a job, and I see a new job coming from her. I mean, that's just it. It's not Andrew McCabe is not going to be relevant next month. I'm sorry, y'all. As far as Donald Trump goes with Jeff Sessions, he's like this. You did good for right now, but next week, you got more work to do. Come to my office. So, Jeff Sessions no wonder Jeff Sessions is stressed because Donald Trump called him and told him they got even more to do. There's more cleaning up. That's what Donald Trump said. There's more cleaning up. And Jeff Sessions is the woo. Jeff Sessions is okay. So the last thing that I want to let you all know from what the cards are telling me, and no, I can let y'all know something from the board, I guess. But the Jeff Sessions is going to cooperate with Donald Trump, but Donald Trump is going to get him in even more trouble. There's something else that's coming within the next 2 months that Jeff Sessions is going to try to clean up, and it's a trap. It's like Donald. How do I say this? It's going to backfire. There's going to be a boomerang effect in that. It's like Donald Trump tells Jeff Sessions, "Hey, touch this button. It's going to blow up the world." It blows up the world, but it records Jeff Sessions. Basically people find out it's Jeff Sessions that touched the button. That's it. It's going to be something that happens in the White House, and people are going to be like, "Hey, how did this?" It's going to be a shakeup. There's going to be another shakeup, and they're going to find out Jeff Sessions was partly responsible for it, and y'all, I don't know if I'm pausing because I'm hearing Sessions might not have a job. He's on the verge of getting fired. It's like Donald Trump is at wit's end with him, and and Jeff Sessions is hanging on by a thread. He holds so much value to Donald Trump in terms of what he can do, but Donald Trump feels that Jeff Sessions is disposable, but he knows that the Attorney General position is important. So I see Jeff Sessions trying to cling on to his position, and he's trying to figure out. He's trying to figure out very creative ways to tell Donald Trump, "No, I can't do your dirty work, but here's someone else who can." So yeah, that's what that's pretty much what I see for all this. I mean, how will Jeff Sessions address this, if at all? If he addresses it, he's going to use a lot. If he addresses this, he's going to use a lot of legal language. He's not going to address it for some time. It's not going to happen immediately. This will not happen immediately. He needs more time to build a stronger legal case. His team needs more time to build a stronger legal case about this incident in general. In addition to that, he needs time to rehearse his reasoning and his body language to make this appear believable. But he's not trying to make a next move because he's too fucking overwhelmed with everything else. He's too overwhelmed. He needs a nap. A long nap. But he can't take one because he's going to be working all this damn weekend. Okay, Spirit. Ancient One. Okay, Ancient One, speak about Jeff Sessions and Donald Trump. He speaks. He says, he, who is Jeff Sessions, he believes that, he says, justice has been served. It says, in the long term, period. He says, okay, this is a lie. He says fighting himself within. He says not strong enough to reject his, and he's talking about Donald Trump's demand. So Jeff Sessions can't, it says, feels extremely worthless sometimes because he knows if he is fired, he is going to not find employment. It says might. It says might have. It says might have attracted too much attention from. It says biased. It says prejudice and biased organizations. It says they are wanting to offer him money to speak. It says he is trying to stay in a credible position. Period. So Jess Sessions could make money, but he don't want to make that type of money. He don't want to make that dirty money, that mean money, that green money, that public speaking Charlottesville riots money. But yeah, he's going to be straight if he uses his white privilege and takes every racist offer that comes to him. But he doesn't want to do that, and he, for the most part, he's fixed himself morally. That's what the spirits are telling me. His moral character, he's trying to do better. He firmly believes in justice, or what he feels is justice. He feels fairness is justice, objectivity is justice, and what he doesn't know is that being fair and objective, working for this particular president will definitely not help him to build a better relationship with this person. This person doesn't want objectivity. The president doesn't want objectivity and fairness. This president wants subservience in a way. This president wants critique. They want legal advice, but at the end of the day, they want their orders followed. So with all of that said, I would like to hear you all's opinions. Please go to www.blackspectrumnetwork.com to purchase a private psychic reading. Please check out my other videos. Please like and subscribe to my video. Whether you like this video or not, leave me a message in the comments to let me know. And I'll see you all next time for my next video. All right, bye.
I just wanna fly away. First class out of space.